It's Christmas at Great Finds Resale, and nothing says Christmas like a faceless Santa. Now here's Santa. It looks like he's got a little dirt there, probably come from going down the chimney. Burned his hands and probably burned his boots off. Now, he is kind of expressionless, but he has a job to do here, and sometimes you find things you just say cool. Now you also find historical pieces and what to do with them. One of the things I found here is an old Detroit Free Press from March 22nd, 1927. The Detroit Free Press is still in publication. You can go to it at free.com if you want. This was when Charles Lindbergh, in Paris. That means he had completed his flight across the Atlantic. In the Spirit of St. Louis was the name of his plane. He was acclaimed a world hero for just flying across the ocean. There's a picture of Charles and his plane there. You can see that plane at the Smithsonian if you'd like. Interesting thing about that, there is no front window. He couldn't see out the front. An oversight, but what do I know? In Detroit, he's our boy because the John C. Lodge was the mayor at the time in the city, and he was the great uncle of the aviator. He stayed up the entire time, so he was probably pretty tired. Some interesting things here, some joyful tears, as their son triumphs. The weather was a little easier back then. Weather? Probably showers. We're not going to commit to anything. It may rain, it may not. Deal with it.
It's gonna rain.
Some other interesting things. They're talking about someday there'll be 100 passenger planes are near. Just after one guy flew, they've already planned for 100 guys to go. Now, this is a great headline. Divorce delay interrupts her wedding plans. I think that's probably true today as any day. If you're not divorced, it's going to hurt your wedding plans. Pretty big scoop by, Michigan's greatest newspaper. But that's the Detroit Free Press, and sometimes you find old photos and you don't know what to do with them. Well, this Christmas season, you could make up a story and hand them out. This is one of the photos I found. I would love to give them back to people if I could find them, but you just don't know. These guys, guessing from the 70s, the pants, greatest things you've ever seen. Trying to figure out what they're doing. Are they bowling? If they're bowling, they're outside. The hat's great. You gotta have a monogram thing. Smoking a cigarette there. Although we probably could do that indoors. This guy here, he's got the microphone. He is handing out the awards. He's got some sort of barn thing, but that guy's just cool. This is my great uncle. I wanted to give you a picture of it. You can make up a great story with this. That would just look good framed in a house. It doesn't say anything on the back, but sometimes you just get things, and what are you going to do with them? Well, it's story time. Plus, those outfits are awesome. Some other picture I found. This looks to be from the 20s. Those were flappers. See all the different short hairstyles. And we do have some. Me and the two girls that come up to my house quite often, Joe Smith. I see 3 girls. I think this photo has so many unanswered questions. Since these people, unfortunately, have probably passed away, we may never get an answer. This is guy reading book. What book? We don't know. But there's a lot of things you don't know what to do with. Now this you may think, stereo 8-track. Which if you've ever listened to an 8-track, stereo is not one of the things that you think they are. But this is the best of the Guess Who. Of course, American Woman is probably played... No, they do have more than one there. 8 tracks. Now this is a sealed 8-track. Do not expose to sun or extreme temperatures. I think this caution advice is good for anything that you own. But it's the best of the Guess Who. These were right before you had cassette tapes. So you really couldn't rewind or fast forward to any song. So you would go to program number 1 and it would start to play American Woman. You could go to program number 2 and it would start to play there, and so on. Now you'd be shocked at what some 8-track are going for, and it's usually rock and roll. But some of the hard rock, the old 8-track tapes, this one is sealed. So we're gonna find out what this is worth, and you'd probably be surprised. Of course, their best song is American Woman. And the last thing, we had this guy. So he's smoking there. And this is a souvenir from Walt Disney World, not to be confused with Walt Disneyland, which is in California. This is the World, which is in Orlando, Florida. There's the monorail, which I believe is still there. It's a steamboat. That's probably It's a Small World. That's somewhere else. Oh, and the riverboat with the hippo. Those things are really cool, if you've ever been there. But what this isn't is it's a candy dish or perhaps an ashtray, because nothing says family vacation than a nice souvenir ashtray. So if you're wondering what to do with things you find, you should look up things like 8-track tapes, especially these. Pictures, I would just make up. You could make up something, a collage. If you can't find the people who they are, we're still wondering who the... It says two girls. Joe. And his name's Joe Smith. That's a really hard guy to find. And probably the coolest guy in 1978. So anyways, ho ho ho, and Merry Christmas.